There are two things that need to be discussed here. One, what the fuck is a highbrow Negro? That's the first thing. The second one, what the fuck are they doing over there in Marvel? And Mahershala Ali, quite frankly, if you drop out of Blade today, I don't blame you. We getting into both. Let's go.
U-GeekTV.
I am Jarius, the Unapologetic Geek. Welcome back to U-GeekTV. And we're doing something new. I'm I just have a couple things that I just have to get off my chest, and I guess this the unapologetic opinion? I don't know. We'll figure that out. But it's a couple things, and I don't know how often I'm gonna do this. I worked it out amongst myself. But yeah, we got some stuff to talk about.
We were talking a large portion of my fans who are disenfranchised, who cannot get in the Volvo and go to therapy on the weekend. So you've got this highbrow Negro who is all up in the air with his nose up looking at everything. And then you got people like where I come from and me who are grinders, who really know what it's like, whose mothers and were caregivers for white kids and were maids and housekeepers and all of these beauticians that don't discount these people and say that their story don't matter. Who are you to be able to say which black story is important or should be told? Get out of here with that bullshit.
So I feel what Tyler Perry is saying here. He's basically saying, how are you gonna tell me what my experience is, or what the black experience is, because it's something that you haven't seen before? And I vehemently agree with that. Like, we are not a monolith. Like, we don't have a specific trajectory in our life, or we all don't share the same experience. We may share similar ones, but we don't share the same. So I agree with him on that. And with that being said, I kind of want to get into the things that I really appreciate about Tyler Perry. One thing, the thing that he does for black actors and black staff, black writers, other would be aspiring black directors, that stuff is is beautiful, frankly. Um, and it's something that I believe he does because he wasn't afforded a lot of those opportunities early in his career. Like, we all know the story. He was homeless at one point, living out of his car, and he just kept writing plays. And to me, that feeds into why this man is such a machine, why he's always working on something, why he doesn't take anything for granted. And honestly, if you make an offer as a network to buy his stuff, he gonna take that shit. I respect the hell out of that. Tyler Perry gonna keep working. Kevin Hart is somebody else that's always gonna keep working. He gonna take all challenges. And Snoop Dogg got so many goddamn jobs. This man is hosting or co-hosting the Olympics or whatever. Like, those three brothers, that's some true hustle and bustle right there. I have nothing but the utmost respect for those gentlemen. But getting back to Tyler Perry, this man has his own studio. You have Marvel films and television shows and other networks and studios who film on his campus. Like, that's some amazing shit. We can't take anything away from him. In terms of what he's done for the culture of black film, it's incomparable, quite frankly. And I think that's where some of the hate comes from for him, and they just kind of funnel it through his work, because you have some creators out there who haven't done or aspired to do what it is that he did. But ultimately, it's something that honestly can't be understated. Like, his impact on black film, I mean, he's in the upper echelon of black all-time film influencers, producers, directors, and writers, period. However, on the flip side of that, it's okay to be critical of his films. And I think, even though a lot of it can be said in jest, I believe we're coming from a place of just knowing where the potential lies with Tyler Perry, and seeing that, honestly, having all those projects, it looks like it's taking a toll on him. I just 100% honest. it's only so many episodes you can write, so many films you can direct, so many films that you can write and produce, and all of that you can do before it starts to show and wear and tear on the quality of your work. And Divorce in the Black is really a prime example of this. I said in my review, the first half, Divorce in the Black, looks very low budget. The second half, you can see there's better filters, better angles, even better acting. The juxtaposition between both sides of those films, it's highly noticeable. And that made me think, okay, maybe somebody is just tired. Now, in KeKe Palmer's interview, he does go on to say he's starting to give more people opportunities. Like he has a writer's room, he has other directors that are working on set with him. He's training really a fleet of talent, which I'm assuming mostly is going to be black, to just kind of go into the next generation. And he didn't say this. I believe he's only put his name and his stamp on all of this. So if there is any criticism, he can take the heat for it, and that's something else that's admirable. However, I don't know that for a fact. Just looking at the credits, you're the one who did everything. So yeah, you gotta eat some of the criticism here. And it's not like we haven't seen better from him. Like Tyler Perry has all of these errors. His best film is A Family That Prays. I've seen it recently and it still holds up quite well. And the descent from A Family That Prays to Divorced in the Black, I'm gonna be honest, I need to do some kind of study because I want to understand how we got to this shit. How did we get from Alfred Woodard and Kathy Bates and a iconic scene where Sanaa Lathan gets slapped over a table? How did we get from that to what I just saw Corey Harding doing? As entertaining as it is, this right here, him doing this over and over again and being a homicidal maniac because he was granted a divorce that he asked for, I need to know how we got to that point. And that leads me, I guess, ultimately to an announcement of sorts. I'm taking on an unapologetic challenge. I plan to watch every single Tyler Perry film there is. By the way, didn't know that Diary of a Mad Black Woman was not directed by him. It's going to be included because it was written by him, but it wasn't directed by him. And I remember that movie being pretty damn good. But we're going to take a journey together. So, starting very soon, I am going to embark on a review series of every single Tyler Perry film. I believe there's 24 in total. God help me. Now, it's time to move on to my next topic. Next thing that's really, really getting at me. And I tried to let it go, but I can't let it go.
I was like, yeah, why not? Let's see what happens. I did not think it was possible. I didn't think you would be able to pull it off. I didn't think that Marvel was into it, Disney was into it, and also because they had Mahershala, cast for the next upcoming version of it. So I thought it didn't make sense to me. But you get a call from Ryan Reynolds out of the blue after 20 years. You go, okay, I got to take this call. Let's see what this is about.
Marvel has just let Ryan Reynolds just go stone cold crazy over there, huh? He just getting to do anything he want. He making everybody's dreams come true. I just saw Hugh Jackman talk about how much credit he wants to give Ryan Reynolds for allowing him to be a part of the whole Deadpool thing and making his debut in the MCU a thing. I thought that was sweet, man. They're best friends, all that kind of stuff. Perfect. Then I saw Channing Tatum talking about he's misty eyed. He's so emotional. He doesn't know how he'll ever be able to repay Ryan Reynolds for giving him the opportunity to be Gambit, which is a role that's near and dear to Channing Tatum's heart. Again, very sweet, very kind. Ryan Reynolds, you're a godsend of sorts. Now, my favorite thing about Deadpool and Wolverine, outside of the great jokes and good action and an opening credits that will go in the great pantheon of opening for any movie ever, I love that I got to see Wesley Snipes again as Blade. I'm highly appreciative of that. What's interesting is, and of course, Wesley Snipes wanted this as well. He's been kind of taking shots at the new Blade reboot starring Mahershala Ali, and just kind of, he's always kind of said he hasn't been recognized properly for his contribution to Marvel. And to that point, I agree. But as I was watching Deadpool and Wolverine, and I saw the reactions like real time that people had to seeing Wesley Snipes on screen, the only thing I could think of is, well, what does this mean for Mahershala Ali? Because it's going to be kind of hard to come back from that. Like, people are seeing the OG Blade. Everybody loves Wesley. I don't think a lot of people had a lot of hope for Blade 4, but we all acknowledge that he deserved a lot of credit for kind of getting this ball rolling a long time ago. And the thing about putting a legend besides someone who's really trying to fill their shoes is you're going to have people who really are holding on tight to nostalgia, and that's going to make it tough for the next person. That's why for the next person, everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be exceptional. It's going to be twice as hard for them because they're essentially chasing a ghost. You can ask LeBron James about that shit. But you know what's different? It's different when the ghost that you're chasing is allowed to be resurrected and play on the playground that you're supposed to be getting ready to play on. And he has the backing of the studio who you've seen kind of bullshit what it is that you want to do for years. And then that ghost also gets friends, and there's another cool ass ghost. This case is Hugh Jackman and Wolverine who gets to play along with them. And they're having a ball and they're having a good time, and then they kind of taunt you in the film. Because I saw Wesley Snipes look directly into their screen, into my soul, and say, there will never be another Blade before firing a fucking rocket launcher. And then I saw in that same frame, Ryan Reynolds in a Deadpool mask look directly in the camera like, yeah, it ain't. I said it when I saw it, and I'm going to say it again. If I'm Mahershala Ali, I'm livid. I'm getting Kevin Feige on the phone. I'm cussing everybody out. Because my film, and by the way, Mahershala asked for this. He asked for Blade. Like, Marvel had no intention of doing anything with Blade. He came to them about this. This was 2019. Did y'all know how much shit got announced that day? Eternals got announced. WandaVision was announced. Loki was announced. What If was announced. Falcon and Winter Soldier was announced. And I believe the Multiverse of Madness was announced. I want to say Black Widow 2 was also announced in that time. All that shit has come out. And in two cases, Loki and What If, you get 2 seasons of that shit, and we still have not even begun filming on Blade. Blade has been in development hell from day one up until now. That's from 2019 to 2024. We just had a San Diego Comic-Con where in 2019 it was announced. We had another one of those. The best update we got was, yeah, we intend to make it still. This was after Wesley Snipes came on stage and celebrated being Blade again. This is crazy. So that gets me to what I just saw. Ryan Reynolds has gone on Twitter and he's lobbying for Marvel to make Blade 4 to give Wesley Snipes' Blade a proper send-off. Y'all, if Marvel green like that shit, Mahershala ought to quit. And I mean it. He should quit. And then I saw somewhere on Twitter, somebody said something to the effect of, well, Wesley is in his 60s. And by the way, Mahershala is in his 50s. Wesley is in his 60s. At most, we're going to get 2 movies. There will be 2 more movies than the one we already don't have, right? Ultimately, what I'm getting at is Mahershala has already started filming Jurassic World 4. I think he need to get in his car when he done with that shit, and he just need to drive on down and keep going to the next Oscar or whatever. And I'm not saying this as a diss to Wesley or anything like that. There's just a level of disrespect there at this point coming from Marvel, not Wesley Snipes or Ryan Reynolds. This has come from Marvel at this point. And Wesley is saying that he and Mahershala are cool, and I believe that. But at the same time, like, Wesley gonna look out for Wesley. Blade is near and dear to his heart. He never wanted anybody to play that role again. He accepted it, but he never wanted to play that role again. I want you all to put this in perspective with me, because this is how it hit me. And this is when it just really just took a life of its own. And I'm going to close with this. Outside of the movies and TV shows coming out, do you know what has happened between the time that Mahershala Ali was announced as Blade up until now? Outside of the insanity of Wesley Snipes reprising the role and bringing Blade on screen before Mahershala did it, the multiverse has risen and fallen during this time in Marvel. Jonathan Majors debuted as Kang. Kang lost to Ant-Man, and now Kang is on a shelf and their characters are being killed off during this time between when that was announced and between now. But the biggest one, and this is just, this is mind blowing. Robert Downey Jr., y'all, Iron Man died. That was it. Robert Downey Jr. is over. Robert Downey Jr. has gone and won an Oscar. Has been invited back to Marvel to play Dr. Doom. Whole different person, whole different character. And they said it's going to be Victor Von Doom, not a variant of Tony Stark. And the Russo brothers have done other shit and have come back and are going to direct 2 more Avengers movies. Y'all, all of this shit is going to come out and be on screen before we see Mahershala Ali's Blade. And that's guaranteed. All these announcements have been made and the dates are in stone. And Blade hasn't even started filming during this time. Mahershala, protect your peace, King, and get the fuck out. Just leave them. Before I get out of here, I'm feeling generous today. I'm going to give you all some things to check out on streaming. Let's get into it. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is now on Hulu. I watched it, and by the time you see this, the review for it will hopefully be out. I enjoyed it, but it's worth checking out. Also on Hulu is this crazy-ass movie called What Goes Around. If I really get into it, I'll spoil it, but yeah, you're not going to be prepared for where they ultimately go. It's a roller coaster ride of a film. I wouldn't say like it's a classic or anything like that. Maybe not even the best movie I've seen, but it's a damn good time, and I feel like it's worth checking out. This one is my personal favorite. It's also a review that's getting ready to come up. This one won't be out before you see this, but definitely worth looking at. Over on Prime Video or AMC Plus, whichever one. Interview with the Vampire, the television show. Both seasons. Masterclass storytelling. I may give away what my score is by saying that, but yeah, that shit right there, worth checking out. And lastly, we have Batman, Cape Crusader. That's over on Amazon Prime as well. And yeah, it's worth checking out also. Like, I've enjoyed seeing more of that detective Batman stuff. I'm going to do a review on it also. I do have some critiques, but ultimately I think it's worth giving a view. So yeah, I'll be honest, y'all. I don't know what I'm going to name this. I don't know if it's going to be called the Unapologetic Opinion. I don't know if I'm going to revive the Unapologetic Experience. I just don't know. However, I'm thankful that you saw this through with me, this strange journey that I've embarked on, and I appreciate your time. And like always, if you have any opinions on anything I've talked about today, let me know in the comments. Continue to like, continue to share, continue to subscribe. And until next time, I'm Jarius, Unapologetic Geek, and I am out.